I'm Desiree Fultz. Today we're talking about Sun in the third house. The third house is ruled by Gemini. Gemini is associated with Mercury, which is associated with communications, the concrete mind, information, and the tools that you use to communicate with others. That could be written word, that could be spoken word, any kind of communications associated with learning new information or going to school are all associated with the third house. The third house is also associated with community and siblings and anything in your local region. So when you find the sun here sitting in the third house, first of all, you're going to find someone who loves their car, because the third house deals with transportation, and being ruled by Mercury is the messenger of the gods, so must get around. Someone who has the sun in the third house is normally going to drive a nice car or always look for really good vehicles, unless that sun has a malefic aspect to it that causes problems with vehicles. Otherwise, the sun being there are generally people who are liked by their community, or they have a lot to do with their community. They're very involved. And this is, the region that you're in locally, not like a long distance trip overseas, but your local region. That may be among your siblings. They may be the star sibling in the family and everybody like that sibling. Or a person with the sun in the third house may find themselves in work that deals with communications. They may be a teacher. They may be giving and receiving information and teaching other people in different ways. They may be self-taught in a lot of ways. They may really love education, and whether it be orthodox or just self-learning, are always going to be absorbing information like a sponge. And the way this sun person is going to express themselves through this house is through their speech, through the way they convey ideas, the way they share information. And they may be found very interesting. People will be engaged by their conversation. They may be really good at debates. Also, depending on whatever's aspecting that sun in the third house can give that a flavor and a style of communication. Like if Uranus was aspecting that sun, they may be really weird in the way they communicate, or have genius ideas, or communicate online through computers. Or say if the Mercury is aspecting Venus, they may be a singer. Or the moon, they may be a singer. They may be into music and they express themselves through poetry. So the different ways that the sun can be aspected by other planets can affect the flavor of that communication. But when the sun is in the third house, communication is definitely an important part of life, and so is information and learning. Your community and your siblings will also play a big role. You may find yourself mentoring other people in your community as well, or find leaderships in your community. The sun also deals with children and joy, and so the joy for these people is generally going to be in communicating. So they're going to love long conversations. They're going to love getting to know people through words. They're going to love the teacher-student relationship, and they may teach a lot of people, or they may even feel like there's a constant teacher-student relationship with everyone they come into contact with. You may even find them running routes, driving a lot around their community, maybe an Uber driver or something to deal with vehicles or cars. That will and soul joy expression is going to be shining through that third house energy, that Gemini Mercury energy. Join us in the next video for Sun in the fourth house.